I'm genuinely, I'm genuinely fucking sick to my teeth to doing this podcast, man. The fancy football karma police have well and truly caught up with me. I'm having hands down the worst season I've ever had so far, anyway. And with essentially only 5 game weeks left before the prize fund is divvied up, I can't imagine there's much hope that I'm catching anybody. There's many in the league who will listen to this episode with childlike delight at the sound of a broken Doyle. And to those I say, fuck you. Liverpool are shy. I'm shy. But it's true what they say. The more wet brain famous you are, the more they will try and bring you down, baby. So look, we missed another game week yet again. I forgot to record any info yet again. Or maybe I just don't give a fuck. That's for you to decipher. But now, seriously, there was lots on that last week. I couldn't. The only thing that I did manage to record was the highest point score of the week, which was Michael Rooney for the first time. And it looked like he wasn't going to do that great. I think Gooch overtook him for a brief period before the Sunday, I think. But he came back with the 61 points to take back the top spot. So fair play, Michael. For game week 13, the top three remains unmoved, with Michael Rooney in first, Andy Guthrie in second, and Derek Carey in third place. But although it hasn't changed, it is 100% getting a little bit spicy in those cash-based positions. Gooch and Derek Carey are both now on 754 overall points, with only 16 points separating them from that top spot, and with only 3 game weeks left before the World Cup. It's looking juicy. There's a lot to look forward to. Bino Faulkner flies up to fourth with an outrageous 81 points and sits level with Jason Gay in fifth. So both are only 20 points off main cashing at the moment. So both 20 points off that third spot. It's shockingly juicier at the top. I thought, not even juicier at the top. Obviously, it's always going to be juicy at the top, but it's juicier than I expected. I didn't expect this, 5 game weeks left. There's going to be a whole lot more movement. I can feel it. 16 points at the top is not an awful lot. But with people having, a lot of the same players now, this is where the smarts come into it. This is where you're going to have to be. This is where you're going to have to get your team at Gary Brian's in order. While there's nothing of major note happening in the middle of the table, with a whole lot of red arrows and only a few green, it's not impossible for these managers to get back into it, but at this stage it's going to take some sort of differential miracle. I'm not going to go through all the ups and downs. I'm sure anyone who listens to the podcast already knows where they are. I will, however, give an honourable mention, and I'll have to, because they got the highest game week score of 84 points, which is Christopher Kennedy, my father, who had an outrageous team. He opted, right, so he captained Haaland, naturally, 26 points, 6 points from Mitrovic, 10 points off Almiron, 8 from Madison, 9 for De Bruyne, 15 points for Kurt Zouma. Who even has Kurt Zouma in their team? My dad also hates cats. He chose not to play Henderson in goals. Naturally, being a Liverpool fan, it must have been a hard decision to make. And albeit the wrong one. 11 points Henderson got sitting on Christopher's bench, but 84 points. He rang me there about 2 hours ago in excitement because he got a notification off the fancy Premier League app to tell him that he had made it. Basically, that game week score is of the top 5% of the world, which is insane. Because I think there's a lot of players that in the league that got into the 70s, and 3 players that got into the 80s. But obviously 84 is the highest. But obviously when your average is fucking 51, to get 84 is pretty decent. Now, Christopher only sits in 17th, but he already has the top score with 109 points. So he's already in the running for a bit of cash. It's going to be hard to beat in 5 game weeks, 100%. Another honourable mention who I have to get in because he's the main character of the podcast is Kieran MacDonald with his team of Gary Brains, who also did quite well with 74 points. He's up to 20th now, above both myself and Hegarty after all the slatings that he got. But let's have a look at the team. So yeah, it's Captain Haaland, Kane, Wilson, 9 points for De Bruyne, Xhaka 10 points, Reed 6 points, Pickford 6 points. So overall decent team, and not necessarily like Reed and Xhaka, yeah, definitely differentials. Pickford also a shout. I don't think many people would have Pickford in their team, but there you go, he's got him. The lowest game week score, oh my god, is it me again? It's actually me. I should have checked this before. Oh no, it's not. It's Daniel Redmond, the lowest game week score of the week. 42 points. And that's with Haaland as captain, and I captained Firmino. So if I had Haaland as captain, I would have definitely got at least 60 points. But Jesus, Daniel Redmond, what have we got? Oof. 16 points on the bench as well. That's gotta hurt. Yeah, like Daniel's team is not bad. It just didn't pay off at all this week. Yeah, there's not much else to say there. Myself and Owen are down to the bottom 3, so it's David Grant in last place. I'm only 5 points ahead of David Grant, but Owen is 21 points ahead of me in 22nd. So it's looking less and less spicy at the bottom of the table. I don't even think Owen did his team this week. He must have. No, I don't think he did. 49 points though. Not bad. But look, it's 3 game weeks left till the World Cup, so I will try and stay on top of the Fantasy Football podcast, even if it kills me inside. It can't kill me, I'm already dead. Peace out.
Wet brain cheese.